Jingle fluff, 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 fluff. Welcome to the first video of the Jingle Fluff collab. Fluff stands for Frankie, Lisa, Anton, Hannah, and Fry. And those are the simmers that are involved in this collab. And you should go subscribe to every single one of them. And I'll put the subscribe links in the information cards if I remember. If not, then those are the YouTube links and you should definitely check them out. Hey, you see that one called Frankie there? She's the best. You should really subscribe to her. Hi everyone! Welcome to the first video of the Jingle Fluff Christmas collab village build video series. That's a long title. We're doing Jingle Fluff and we will put our heads together to create this adorable little Christmas village. Now, Fry went ahead and did the landscaping for this build to create all these different levels for us to build on. Lisa had a whole bunch of reference images for us to gather inspiration from, and then we've divvied out who's going to build what, and then all through this month you're going to have some amazing videos from us all from all these different speed builds, and I'm super excited to see everyone else's. I have seen nothing because mine was the first. I haven't seen anything of everyone else's, so I'm so excited. I also really have to apologize for the camera angles in this, and sped up it's so much worse than it was in real time, but like when you're working with terrain tools now, that kind of camera, like when you start working on upper floors and you're trying to zoom in, but then you zoom in and the camera goes all the way up, and then you zoom out and it goes all the way down, and that just happened everywhere. So I really have to apologize for the camera going up and down. I know it's annoying because I've edited this video. So I have to say sorry. I really can't do anything about it. It's just how the camera in the game works. I've tried to cut out as much as I can, but I'd basically be cutting out the whole video if I was to cut out every up and down, because it was a nightmare building on this terrain. But it was kind of necessary because of how many people were going to be going into this collab, because if we all did our builds and then the terrain, then it would have been like, you know, items going missing, walls being deleted probably. You know what terrain tools are like. So anyway, my part of this collab was to build Santa's Grotto. And here it is. What I remember of Santa's Grotto was this kind of, you just step into a magical wonderland, and that's kind of what I wanted to try and do here. And when you're a kid, all this looks amazing, and you know, there's all these bright colors, and there was reindeer sometimes at the ones I would go to, because I went to a one quite frequently that was at a farm nearby. So there were actual reindeer there. Back in the late 90s, early 2000s, when I was young enough to go to these grottos, it was usually snowing on Christmas as well. We don't get that as much anymore, but back then we did. So I did change the seasons later on. I think when I'm building half of this, it's in summer, and then I went and put in a family, did the cheat to do to make it winter, but I still didn't get any snow on the lot yet. So screenshots don't have snow, but it does still look very wintry and sweet. So what I was trying to do is build the kind of the outdoor experience that you get while you're waiting to go in, as well as the grotto itself. So I put out some animatronic, am I saying that right? Animatronic looking characters, because when I was a kid, these grottos had these kind of like slow moving animatronics of nutcrackers, elves, sometimes Santa, snowmen, reindeer, things like that. So I tried to put I sized up the nutcracker dolls to put those in. And then what I'm building here is the actual part where you would go in and meet Santa. And I just wanted to, because we had limited space as well, I just wanted everything to be super snug and cozy and just have this feeling of warmth and, you know, coming in out the cold and this magical experience of meeting Santa Claus and, oh, he's got presents for me. It's so good. Yay! So yeah, this is all very close and cozy, and I just threw decorations at this, and I have to interrupt myself because these snowflakes, it's little decorations like this that make me wish we had a rotation tool in The Sims, because if I could rotate those around, I could do that whole wall with snowflakes, and I'd probably cover like each and every wall. But then again, it kind of, the ability, or the lacking the ability to rotate those snowflakes kind of made me think a little bit more outside the box, like, okay, what else can I do to make this more interesting? I can't have all snowflakes. So another thing as well, I do go back and forwards a lot when I'm building, especially things like this when I have a clear idea, because I know what I want, but I don't know what's in the game for me to make it. So I'll be going through decorations, find something, think, oh, this would be really cool if I put it over here, and then I'll go back to that area for a bit and then come back. So there's quite a little bit of that in here. I did try to focus more on one room at a time for the sake of the speed build, but there is quite a bit of back and forth. So yeah, I really wanted to clutter up the top of that fireplace, and especially this room, I wanted it to be really cluttered, but in a, I don't want to say tasteful because it's not really tasteful, but in a nice way, I wanted it to be cluttered. So yeah, when I was a kid, you go into Santa's grotto, and Santa's sitting there in his chair, and there's usually a tree with a whole bunch of presents. And you know, you sit on Santa's lap and you say, "I want a pony for Christmas," and and he says, "Okay, well, let's see what's under the tree for you." And then he picks up a box, and you're like, "There's not a horse in that box. I can tell you right now, there is not a horse in that box." But you're like, "Thanks, Santa." And then you go home, you put it under the tree, you come to Christmas one, you wrap it, and it's a cheap Barbie knockoff. Or I think my brother got like some Hot Wheels cars or something one year. That was probably the most expensive gift he ever got from one of these grottos. It's just like a Hot Wheels miniature, because usually the ones we went to, it was cheap taddy gifts. Yeah, so I changed the outside a little bit here because I forgot I had this tree, and it was just so perfect. I had to put it in. I thought it was just going to be so uh, pretty and kind of quaint, and you know, just the kind of little Christmassy touch that the outside needed. Yeah, so I'm kind of bad mouthing my Santa's Grotto experience, but you know, I have very good memories. It's just when I go back, I was like, oh god, that's so tacky. But you know, anytime you look back on the 90s, that's your reaction. A kind of nostalgic glee, and oh god, that was so tacky. So yeah, this is me adding a whole bunch of lanterns because I didn't want loads and loads of lights to make it super bright. I still wanted that warm glow. I did end up putting a couple more lights in, like these lanterns, but each light, uh, none of them were too much, so it all still had this kind of glow. And you'll see in a little while I switch it to nighttime, so you see what it's like all lit up at night. So because we all wanted to keep the kind of overall look of the village to be very in keeping with Windenburg's aesthetic, the kind of Tudor houses and that I want to say like Western European type, you know, historical. Like I go to a Christmas market most years with my mom in a place called York in the UK, and it has a lot of this kind of Tudor building still. That there's so many old buildings there, and it really adds to, I think, the Christmas feel. And it might just be because I've been going to that market for years and years, but it really it has that Christmas aesthetic, you know. So that's what I wanted to build here, and there's a couple shots in here where I've kept the house in that I built because we all decided we build like a community in quotes lot, and then a house as well on our space. So we it basically turns into the tiny house challenge. But I haven't kept the speed build footage of me building the house. I think I'm going to make a separate video for that, just to keep this from being too long and complicated, because I really wanted to focus on the Santa Squadro part. There are screenshots at the end from the house, so you'll see it there, and then if you want to see the speed build video, then leave a comment, and if there's some comments for it, and if people want to see more of it, then I will upload it. So yeah, back in the grotto here, so I'm like really just throwing so many decorations on the wall. I kind of wanted to look like Christmas threw up in this place. So I went through, I kept putting the seasons filter on and like that free holiday pack we got ages ago. And then Max's monthly, we're actually getting more holiday items in that pack, and I kind of wish we could wait for it, but we're all on deadlines because we're all working together, and that's great. So we won't get to use those new items, I don't think. Maybe the last person doing that build will get to use those items, but I'm here first, so not me. Yeah, so I'm gonna quit talking now and put on some Christmassy music, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of this build. Be sure to leave a comment if you enjoyed it, if you want to see that house I mentioned. Be sure to check out everyone else's videos through this month, subscribe and hit notifications so you don't miss anything. And I hope you guys like this collab because I'm so excited. I'm so excited to be part of it, and these guys are my dear, dear friends. I love them to pieces.